All right, so today we're going to talk about carbs, proteins, and fats. Which one matters most for fat loss? Honestly, before I even get into the video, I do want to quickly preface that I do know I've been inconsistent when it comes to my uploading. For the new year, one of my main goals is to really try to lock it in and dial it in. This is just a little random segue before I go into the real video. But anyway, I'm going to try to be better for you guys. But moving forward, let's talk about carbs, protein, and fat, and how everybody argues which one's more important. But if you're trying to lose weight, there's one that should take precedence over the other, and most people typically don't think the right one, right? So let me make this fairly simple. All three of them matter, but they don't all matter equally. Like if fat loss is your goal, there's a certain way how you should care about them, and how you should make one more important than the other. For a perfect example is protein. That's what matters the most. I think that we all knew that answer. Like, I'm not gonna act like carbs don't matter or fats don't matter, but one, it keeps you full, protects your muscle, boosts your metabolism, and even helps you recover from your training. Most people struggle with fat loss because it's not because they're eating too much carbs, because they're eating too little protein. A perfect example is I was talking to a friend of mine, right? And she's about, I want to say 240, and she's eating about 110 to 120 grams of protein. That's not enough for someone her size, especially if she's trying to lose weight. She should be striving for anywhere between 170 to 200 grams of protein, right? So, like I like to say, if you've been around my channel for a while, you should aim for anywhere between zero point 0.8 to 1 gram of protein. Or if you really hate protein for whatever reason, 1.7 is also acceptable. If protein isn't locked in, nothing else really matters at the end of the day. Another thing that we're going to mention that's second important is your carbs. Carbs come second. They don't come first or last. Carbs fuel your workouts, improve your performance, and help you train harder. The issue isn't carbs, it's eating carbs with no structure. Perfect example is French fries, pizza, cake. Good carbs would be sweet potatoes, fruits have carbs, or bananas, anything that have healthy carbs, healthy. So the way I also really started seeing progress is carbs before my workout, carbs after my workout. If carbs get too low, your workout suffer and fat loss slows, and you get headaches. Or at least if you're anything like me and you don't drink water, if you're not hungry, you're gonna get headaches. Last but not least, fats. Avocado, olive oil, that was a tongue twister for some reason, and nuts. Fats are important for hormones, but they're also the easiest macro to overeat. A perfect example is honey buns. I don't know why I'm thinking about honey buns, but stay with me right now. Honey buns is high in fat and carbs. If you combine the high fat and high carbs, is the majority of why most people are overweight. 9 calories per gram means portions matter than a lot more. For example, meaning imagine you're eating 40 grams. You know how much fat that is? It's really crazy. Now, I'm not saying you have to be a fanatic or you track all your calories. You don't need high fat or low fat. You just need just enough to make sure it's perfect. Now, here's where people messed up. If you stayed this long in the video, I do appreciate you. They obsess over carbs and fats, but ignore the calories and the protein. Honestly, weight loss is really making sure you're consistent, you have high protein, and you don't overeat your calories. You can lose fat eating high carbs, you can lose fat eating low carbs. You can't lose fat if you're not consistent. Consistency over stressing about what type of how your macros should look like. Long story short, if you want fat loss to work, you really got to prioritize protein first, calorie second, carbs in moderation to support your training, and fats in moderation. You do all that, there's no way your body won't respond. Now, if you want me to make a video on how many carbs you should be eating based on your body weight, your training, or anything more specific, or you want me to make a video more on fats that I personally like, type carbs down below. Hope this helps.